Good morning. I hope you are with me this week. Already another week. I can't believe how fast these things are flying by. It's just absolutely amazing. August 10th right now, 9 o'clock, and I am excited to get into another book of the Bible with you guys today. We're going to finish it up, I think, but Second John. We did First John the last couple weeks, and now we're in Second John. And I love John's writing, and I'm sure you do too. He uses words all the time. Love, truth, abide. Those are big ones that he's always talking about. And we're going to see that again here. He says in Second John, the elder. Now, he calls himself the elder because John is old. And what we know, good morning. What we know is that John was the last apostle to live at this time. Around 85, 95. After the death of Christ, you kind of go, wow, this guy's getting old. And there's something about hanging out with older people that can really be a blessing and a challenge as well. A lot of times elderly people can challenge you in the sense that they might see something in your character, and they might just be bold at this point in their life to be able to say something to you. And where when you're younger, a lot of times what we do is we kind of sometimes we can tiptoe around things. We're like trying not to offend, or we're trying to be real gentle, and sometimes the elderly just come out and say it. And I kind of like that. I think there's a balance. It's wonderful in a church because sometimes you have the young people, then you have the older people, and it's nice to have that balance in your life and to get that. Sometimes you need just that straightforward boom. And John here in this writing, this epistle, is going to kind of give them a quick boom. And he says, the elder to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth. And the elect lady could be a lady, but it could be the church, because notice how this vibe is. To the elect lady and her children. We know that the church is called the bride of Christ in the New Testament. It's seen as a woman adored for her husband. Again, everything in the Bible is always really intimate and really kind of alluring, and that kind of, there's like this romantic quality of it all. And so you can see John talking about potentially the church as being the elect lady, the beautiful lady, right? The elect lady, the chosen lady. That word elect is kind of a hot button topic in the New Testament, that we are elect, those who have come to know Christ, the truth, the reality of Christ, are the elect. They are chosen. And so it could be that this is the church, to the elect church, lady seen as a bride. Check out Ephesians chapter 5:22 to the rest of the chapter. Ephesians 5:22 to the rest of the chapter. And that was a repeat. Isn't that cool? And you can kind of see that. But most of us know that, right? To the elect lady. How do you look at the church anyway? That's a kind of a neat question, huh? How do you guys look at the church? Do you look at it as something really cool? Something to be a blessing for you? Or do you look at it as like a burden, as like a bummer? I know, I tend to see a passage has always influenced me, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10, but it just says that, God, the manifold grace of God is seen within people's gifts. It's meaning God has so much for you in the toolbox, and everybody working and doing their part all is a participant of that manifold, that full grace of God that's in the church. So when I go to church, I realize there's different people there, and all of their gifts are to be utilized for my benefit, to help me in transforming me into the truth. into not just knowing truth, but being truth. And I need all of those gifts working. And so I love that idea of John just saying, hey man, the church is the elect lady and her children, right? The church is all the people. That's kind of how you could really look at this. And he says, whom I love in truth. And we're going to see this all the time, love and truth. Remember his gospel, John's gospel. He says that Jesus was full of grace and truth. So when he saw Jesus, he saw someone that was full of grace, beauty, and truth, reality. And those two things were there in Jesus. Absolute beauty, absolute glory, absolute sweetness, and absolute reality, truth. And he talks about the church whom he loves in truth. And that's going to be a big theme here, is in truth. And not only I, but also all those who have known the truth. So he says truth, the word truth again, right? This word truth, by the way, is used about 22 times in his gospel. And it's used a few times in these little small epistles that he writes, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. He uses them quite a bit in there too. So truth is vital. Think of the opposite of truth. What's the opposite of true? False, right? False. And what John's saying is that Jesus is full of truth. He is truth. Now, Jesus claimed to be truth. I am the way, the truth. He is the total perfect representation of God. He is truth in human flesh, and in human flesh he is true. He is the total complete reality of man and of God. And so when we see Jesus, we see someone who's full of grace as God, as the perfect man, and as truth, as God is true, and as he is fully man, full of truth. So he is a man who you look at and he goes, he's true. So what I'm getting at is he's not just, we don't just, the idea is that we don't just believe in truth, but we, as human beings, can conform to truth. That truth is a objective person, and that objective person is Jesus, which is radical. So truth, when we think of something as true, sometimes we think of, oh, I believe a certain set of facts. But Jesus says, I am truth. Whoa, meaning he is objectively true, which is radical. So 2 plus 2 equal 2, or 2 plus 2 equal 4, that's true. And Jesus says, I am the truth. I am, wow. So it's kind of a mind blower when you just think of that idea of truth, and that Jesus is the truth. And I love that. And so John's talking about he loves them in truth, and not only, but also it says all those who have come to know the truth. And so you can come to know, people can come to know the truth. Isn't that cool? I like that. But also those who have come to know the truth. You know, there are people today that are going to come to know the truth. And they'll come to know Jesus as being the truth. And they'll learn facts about Jesus, and that are true. And so they'll not only know the one who is truth, but they'll learn facts about Jesus. And that's cool. For me, I think today I go, hey, there's people here today who are going to come to know truth. They're going to come to know the Lord. Do I have Am I a person who loves the truth, and am I a person who loves it when people come to know the truth? Is that kind of something in my heart? Is that like a goal of my heart? Is that like a driving direction of my heart? John says he loves those who have known the truth. He loves that people have come to know the truth of Christ. What is your passion, in life? And yeah, we all love, staying in shape or doing different things that we like to do, or playing guitar for me, or different things that you might have in your life as well. But do I have a passion for truth and to see people come to know the truth? And isn't that cool? Come to know a reality. And that's what we're talking about, is coming to know a new reality, something different than the reality that you had before. See, the interesting thing is everybody on the planet is living based off of some reality, right? Everybody's making decisions based on a reality. The question is those realities, is it really true? And what is the real and what is the false? And so Jesus, when he says, hey, I am the truth, wow, what a claim, right? That's an intense claim. He's saying everything else is false. I'm the true. You want to see what God's like, what reality really is like? Look at me. As the stature, the measure of what is right, what is true, what is good. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else, but look at me. Make your decisions based off of what I'm telling you, not on what other people are telling you. So many people base their reality, their decisions on a reality, on what they believe is true, based off of books that people write, and that reality over the years can tend to be seen as it can be shown to be wrong or false. And many people do that. Many people base decisions. Might I even say that all people base decisions on what they have grown to believe is their reality through education of some kind. And it could be just family education, how you were raised, or it could be book education of what you study, like at a college. But, what is going to be your definition of what is real? And John's super in. He wants to. He's honed in on this idea that Jesus is love and truth, and so that is important for us to think about just today. Is what are you basing your decisions on? Are they based on who Jesus says he is, that he is the truth? And or are you basing your decisions on someone else's truth? And I mean, come on, we all are human beings, and we all realize that most of the stuff we listen to that tells us what's going on in the world, we have to by now, I think, in our life, realize that a lot of it maybe ain't based in like a truth. It might be based on some form of truth, but is a half-truth truth? No. It's not. It becomes false. That's the definition of false, is it's not true. And a lot of us, as human beings, we are bent, it says, with iniquity, where we have a bending, so we tend to always go the way of some partial truths and not full truths. And we can never get to the full truth place. There's something in us that always is false. And so Jesus says, hey, fix your eyes on me, truth. We have to fix our eyes on a foundation of reality. And Jesus says, I am the right foundation of reality. And if you don't want Jesus, then you have to you're basing your world on some other form of reality. whatever it is. When you go to college, a lot of times you'll believe it on what professors say, or you'll read a book and you'll base it on what they say. And you might go, wow, well, now my reality has changed. I believe this person over the Bible or over what Jesus has said. And that's just what you're doing. You're basing your reality on something different. John, to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth, in Jesus. And not only I, but also all those who know the truth. And then look at this verse 2. Because of the truth which abides in us and will be with us forever. That's a beautiful statement. Because of the truth which abides in us. Just as we fix our eyes on Jesus, who is not only conformed to truth, he's transfigured truth, but he is the truth. But that truth is revealed in his human body as well, perfectly. It says that the truth of Jesus abides in us. Again, in us. Through the work of the Holy Spirit, this work is in us and will be with us forever. This is a transforming work. Just as Jesus embodied truth, so now truth resides in us as we look and abide in Christ. And you see the potential there, right? Forever. We will one day embody that truth as well. Isn't that cool? And that's what John told us in his last letter. He says, hey, when Jesus comes back, you're gonna know just as he knows you. You're gonna know him. Just as he embodies all truth, so you are gonna know. You're gonna know the truth. You're gonna have a fullness of that experience. And that starts here and now as we abide, right? Because of the truth which abides, resides in us, lives in us, and will be with us forever. Really cool start to the book. I kind of like it, right? You could tell I'm kind of hammering in on this truth idea. But I want you just to think through it. It's very cool. And so we didn't even get through the book. Man, I thought we were, but we didn't. So maybe we'll take a little more time and just nurse this book a little bit. So today, think about your reality. What are you basing your reality on? Is it on Jesus or is it on other things? Think of those things. Okay, you guys have a great day. Enjoy it. Wonderful Monday. And we'll all be busy doing stuff. Lord be with you guys, okay? Take care. Lord willing, tomorrow. Bye-bye.